what I'm prepared to speak about. What I'm prepared to speak about today is what Oracle has to offer from a cloud computing perspective, and tied into that, what Oracle has to offer with regards to engineered systems, because that does tie into our cloud offering significantly. Okay? So my name is Bob Ziola. I am a sales consultant with Oracle in our higher education group. So what we do is service higher education customers. Okay? And like I said, we're going to talk about Oracle Cloud. All right? Got to put this up. The lawyers make us put this up, but did you read it? Okay, good. All right. Oracle has fully embraced the cloud technologies, and we like to think that we can offer unique in the industry multiple different deployment models, service models, and ultimately consumption models for cloud computing. Okay, whether you're going to deploy it in a public cloud or a private cloud or some sort of hybrid. Whether you want to deploy applications, your platform, or infrastructure over the cloud. Whether you want to build it yourself and move it out to the cloud, or build your own internal cloud to offer up to your internal constituents, or build it yourself and move it to the cloud, have us manage it for you, or just subscribe to the service out on the cloud. We can offer all of that. Right? It's a very varied and broad offering that we have from a cloud computing perspective. All right, so as I said, whether it's build, managed, or subscribe, we cover the entire spectrum of cloud computing. Okay, whether it's products or services. Right? And as I've already mentioned, build and manage your own cloud using Oracle products, and that's where the engineered systems primarily come in. Right? Or subscribe to applications and technologies as a service. So the products that, or the offerings that we have in these areas, from a subscribe perspective, we have something called the Oracle Public Cloud, and I will speak about that. In a managed area, we have Oracle Cloud Services, all right? You know, in the old days, we used to talk about that sort of offering as a hosting type of service. Okay? You buy the software, you set up the software, we can host it for you. We can host it on our site, we can host it for you on your site. Okay? But it really fits into the whole cloud paradigm there also. And then lastly, building your own internal cloud. Okay? And for that, the engineered systems work very well in order to enable you to quickly be able to provide services to your constituents, and then ongoing management, easily manage those services. So let's start right in the middle with the Oracle Cloud Services offer. Okay? As you're aware, Oracle does offer a complete stack of products and services, not just across the cloud areas, but with regards to, you know, from application to disk and everything in between with all that Oracle has acquired over the years. We've got the ability to provide applications, all sorts of middleware, from document management to application service to identity management, and all of the services that happen between your applications and your ultimate back-end database. All of those services are provided by different pieces of software. Oracle has those pieces of software in our portfolio. Of course, we have the Oracle database, which is what the company was built on originally, right? With the acquisition of Sun Microsystems a few years back, we now are able to offer a choice of operating systems. We have our own distribution of Linux. We also now have Sun Solaris in our portfolio. We have a virtual machine technology, Oracle Virtual Machine, all right, as an alternative to what most of you are probably familiar with, VMware, okay? And servers and storage, obviously, the Sun acquisition provided the hardware that we now have in our portfolio. So we do offer all of that, but what's important here is from an Oracle Cloud Services perspective, all of that can be had through a hosting type of cloud arrangement, so that offloads the management, the patching, the setup, and all of those kinds of things that your IT staff would otherwise have to do. You're hiring out somebody else to do it. Okay? And that's what the cloud is all about, right? Moving the responsibility for managing and running these services out to off-premise, basically, somewhere in that internet cloud. So we give you the value, the software and hardware, again, and in our hosted environments, by the way, we also use the engineered systems that we'll be talking about later. So the hardware is engineered specifically to run our software. Okay? We have the choice, as I went through there, and from a secure perspective, you can be assured that your data will be secured and protected within our Oracle Cloud Services environment. So let's talk about how with cloud services you accelerate your value that will leverage complete choice and rely with confidence. From an accelerate value perspective, it's an interesting paradigm in that we will keep your software that we're hosting at the latest version, up to date, latest patches, latest releases. We will take care of that update. But by the same, at your choice, you have the option to tell us, no, maybe I don't want to be on the bleeding edge. Or maybe right now is not good for an upgrade cycle. Right? So whereas we can do your upgrades and we can help you stay current on the technology, you do also have the choice as to how and when we do that. Okay? So that is one facet of the Oracle Cloud Services. From a leverage complete choice, again, I went through all the technologies. From applications, we have the campus solutions. I believe here at Ithaca you're running our e-business suite also, all offered on in the cloud. Okay, all the different technologies that we offer, as I said before, the middleware, the database, Exadata and Exalogic are the two engineered systems that run the database and middleware respectively. And again, I'll be getting into that a little later. And then from a systems perspective, Solaris, Linux, and the Oracle Virtual Machine. All those options are there for you in the Oracle Cloud Services environment. Okay, and from an deployment option perspective, on-premise, right? Customers have built out or want to build out or request from Oracle Cloud Services, we need to build an environment to run our e-business suite, right? Oracle Cloud Services will come on site, whether it's already built or not built, set that up for you and manage it remotely, right? They'll also manage outside your system. So whether it's a private cloud or public cloud, we can set up your systems on our site, have them managed there, have you access that remote. What's unique about our offering is we also have hybrid capabilities, where you can have some here, some there. If you have some there and you want to decide to move it in-house, you can do that. If you have some here and you want to decide to move it to Oracle's premises, you can do that. So it's very open and flexible in that manner. From a confidence perspective, firstly, our data center is run based on the ITIL standards. And as you can see around the circle, there are multiple areas of expertise that we provide in order to provide that accountability for your data. Because one of the biggest fears I see when I talk to customers is if I'm moving my data to your data center, is it going to be protected? How are my constituents' privacy rights going to be protected? How can you assure that? And we, in fact, can assure. Okay? Again, certified configuration models, operating models, etc. Things that I've already spoken about. Okay? From a compliance perspective, we are also prepared and in a position to make sure that our implementations are compliant compliant with different federal regulations across all industries, not just higher education. You see higher education FERPA there, but there's any HIPAA requirements that need to be adhered to. We can surely do that. PCI requirements for credit card industry, etc. We have that ability too. And just in summary, cloud services, you can realize that accelerated value by moving your applications and computing into the Oracle Cloud. You have choices. It's not just, our way or the highway, so to speak. And you can have confidence in the services that we provide you and the security that we can provide. Next, we're going to talk about the Oracle Public Cloud. Oracle Public Cloud, to be honest with you, is in its infancy at this point. Okay? This is a screenshot of the website. As you can see, and I have got slides that will show this, in our public cloud currently what we're going to be offering are, let's start at platform. We'll offer a Java service to be able to develop and deploy Java applications on the public cloud. Remember now, the public cloud is subscription-based. No licenses involved. It's a monthly fee. It's like plugging in and paying for electricity. Okay? Interesting counter to that. And there's pros and cons to everything. I was at a conference recently, and one of the CIOs got up and talked about the cloud, and he wasn't exactly all enamored by the cloud. One of the things he said is, it's like plugging in, you pay electricity. That electric bill is there every month, regardless if it's good times or bad times. The cloud will do that for you. If you subscribe, it's there every month, whether it's good times or bad times. He says, but during slow times, if I run my own IT, and I don't have the cash this quarter or this year, I can not spend that money, so you have more control over it. So again, like I said, there's pros and cons to everything. But the Oracle Cloud is totally subscription-based. We offer a Java service. We offer an Oracle database service. What we're also offering on our public cloud is a CRM application. CRM applications are in higher ed, in particular, are mostly used for enrollment management and admissions management type of things. And HCM, which I call it HR, but the new name is HCM. We have a Fusion HCM application. And if you'll notice, it's called Fusion. If you've been around following the news when Oracle acquired PeopleSoft many years ago now, right? The goal at that point was to take the best of the PeopleSoft applications, the best of the Business Suite applications, then we acquired Siebel for their CIM, the best of the Siebel applications, fuse them into a brand new application suite that we call Fusion. Well, Fusion is here, and it's being delivered today as a cloud service. Fusion CRM, Fusion HCM. And then also on the application side, we're offering on the cloud social networking for the enterprise. So an internal social networking for collaboration and whatnot for the internal workings of your enterprise. Okay, so why our public cloud? Again, complete, broad, best in class, and integrated. It's open, it's all standards-based. Again, another unique thing about our public cloud is if you deploy something in the database service on our public cloud, you decide to bring it back in-house, no problem. It's an Oracle database there, you can run it on an Oracle database here. Actually, it's an Oracle database, but if you have anything that is SQL-based, an RDBMS that runs on the structured query language, that data can be moved into that. So it's really very open standards from that perspective. Okay? Very extensible, right? The Oracle database, as you're probably aware, is very scalable. That can be extended. And again, security. Security is very important to Oracle. And we take that very seriously, whether it's the cloud services or our public cloud offering, right? The bottom piece here, hybrid, right? Flexible deploy, move apps from on-premise to our cloud and back, as I had mentioned earlier. Self-service capacity on demand, right? So if you need to expand your capacity, there'll be an interface for you to go to where you can do capacity on demand in the public cloud. Because that's by definition what the cloud really means, okay? The cloud is all about self-service and capacity on demand, self-provisioning and deprovisioning, that sort of thing of these services. And it's fully managed by the Oracle operations force, okay? The architecture that we base our public cloud on, okay? Core technology right here, Oracle database, Oracle WebLogic server. That would be the core technology that we would base our database service, our Java service, and also our application services are running on that stack of products, okay? We've got service integration and linkages because there'll be APIs, there'll be web services available to you to also tie back into applications or information that you need to integrate with on Canvas, okay? And then there'll be access points for end users, developers, and your operations folks to see into what's going on there too. Okay? So again, it's a full architecture that we have offered out on our public cloud infrastructure. Okay? So our database cloud service, the #1 database offered in the cloud, again, rapid provisioning, as I said, self-service provisioning, simple pricing, monthly subscription, easy to use and manage, rapid cloud-based application development. I don't know how many of you are familiar with the Oracle Application Express or Apex. That's very strongly used in our cloud offering, but we'll also have access using Java or RESTful web services, and there'll be other business productivity applications packaged with it. From a Java cloud perspective, again, built on the WebLogic server, again, the #1 application server. Again, easy to use, instantly available, provisioning with the cloud service, self-provisioning, development and deployment, and again, web services and APIs for third-party integration. All right. From an applications perspective, we're offering our CRM, our Fusion CRM application in the cloud, and you can see there some of the functionality that is part of that solution. And the HCM functionality we offer in the cloud also, and you can see there, it's, HCM is HR. So we have that application available through the Oracle Cloud. Right. Social networking, again, as I said before, for enterprise collaboration, okay, and all the things that social networking brings. Okay, we couldn't have a complete solution these days without some sort of social networking.
Bob, question.
Bob, sorry.
Does Oracle have any interest in the content of the social network in the way a traditional Facebook is interested in what's going on? Or is it's a private social network?
It's a social networking for the enterprise. Whether Oracle is going to take the information like Facebook does and sell it, I don't think so. Yeah. But Facebook, we know, does that. Or at least, if you didn't know what they do.
Right.
Yeah.
Oh, they all do.
Yeah.
I'm interested in more the social network part. Were you about when you guys set up a content control piece, one more extension so that people don't use social network for inappropriate things?
Yeah, well, again, the controls over what's in there would really be under the control of the subscriber. You would designate what you want and don't want, right? But there would be some sort of controls over how things get there and what's up for sure. Okay? Okay. From a shared infrastructure service perspective on public cloud, all right, so we talked about the different services available on a subscription basis, but all of those services now would share common infrastructure services. Most importantly, security and identity, okay? Integration service, again, to integrate back to other applications, because invariably you're going to be running into that, okay? Repositories, virus scanning is important from that perspective. Backup and recovery perspective. All right, if you're running a database service out in the cloud, you want to know that that's going to be backed up and recoverable, right? Just like any other database that you run, okay? And also management services, okay? So we're going to just drill into a couple of them. The security and identity management service, that's one of the shared services in our cloud solution, okay? It provides single sign-on and federation, so that what federation does is saying two different entities, I authenticate to one, and if I'm federated with the second will accept my authentication from the first. Okay, so what we're talking about there, single sign-on and federation. I'm at Ithaca College, I log in and I authenticate to my internal systems here. If I need to connect out to a cloud service, I won't need to log in again. The two services will be federated so that the Oracle Cloud Service will trust the Ithaca authentication mechanisms, that sort of thing. And that happens today between different organizations too. You know, when I go online to book travel through our travel agency, right? I log into the Oracle self-service application. I click a button which moves me over to our travel agent. I don't log in again. They've got federated authentication, so it's the same concept there. Okay? Integration between public and on-site, we talked about that. All of this is built on the Oracle Identity Management Suite. I think that's the key piece here. Again, one of the leading identity management suites in the industry. Okay? From an enterprise manager service, back-end service for all consoles, right? Enable service management dashboards and reporting on the operations of what's going on. Okay, so if you're looking for SLAs, query response times, that sort of thing in your database service, you can see that. If you want to see dashboards on performance on your Java applications and your Java services, you can see that through this Enterprise Manager service. Okay, and it's the same Oracle technology that you're probably using today on site, right, for your current Oracle implementation, so there's no learning curve there. It's that same Enterprise Manager interface. Okay. And again, this is the website, cloud.oracle.com. That's where you would go to get the whole thing rolling. Okay? Remember, it's all self-service, web-based. Do it yourself. Cloud.oracle.com. Okay? Now we're going to move on to internal cloud. Think about building your own. Okay? And how the engineered systems that Oracle offers plays into that. Okay, we've been through this before. We've got the entire stack of offerings in our portfolio. Delivered faster, better performance, shorter deployments. That's what engineered systems are all about. Okay, think about it, and I hate this analogy, but it's the easiest analogy for everybody to understand, right? You know, because it's become too commonplace these days for people using it. But think about if you were responsible for assembling the car that you drove here to, right? As opposed to Ford or General Motors, Toyota, or whomever, right? Those are engineered systems. They engineer that vehicle for the purpose that it's designed to do. If you were responsible for the transmission and the engine and the electrical systems and the lights and then making the body fit, right? That's a lot of work, but that's what you're doing today with your IT systems, right? You're putting together servers for your database, servers for your middleware, networks between them, networks then out to the end users, firewalls, right? Backups, power supplies, the whole 9 yards. You're putting all of that together yourself. The analogy fits. Why not have someone else assemble it for you, build that system specifically to run that particular type of software? An engineered system. Okay? And that's what this is all about. Easy to manage and upgrade, lower cost of ownership, etc. Okay? So the first thing we're talking about is Oracle Exadata. Oracle Exadata is a complete system, an engineered system designed to run the Oracle database. Right? It doesn't run anything else. It runs the Oracle database. It runs the Oracle database better than any other cobbling or combination of hardware and networks and wires that we've ever seen, all right? Because of the fact that we built this to run the database, and we are in total control of the entire system, from servers to network to storage. We can build things into it that you can't necessarily put in separate components when you're putting them together. Okay? So it is the totally optimized, engineered system for running the Oracle database. We refer to it as the Oracle Exadata database machine. Okay? Okay? They're all the same, right? There's three options you get, right? A full cabin or a full rack, we call it, a half rack or a quarter rack, which is just basically different horsepower. It's like buying a small car versus a large car. Right? The only difference here is if you buy a quarter rack, you can upgrade it to a half rack or a full rack. I don't know about upgrading a little Corolla maybe to a bigger car, but that's a whole other thing. Okay? But they're all the same. They're delivered ready to run. okay? They're pre-tested, highly supportable. The reason why they're highly supportable is right there. Oracle Engineering and Oracle Support runs the exact same configuration because there's only one configuration. So how many of you have called Oracle Support with an issue? And what's the first question, right? What's the configuration? What's your operating system? What's your hardware, et cetera, et cetera? They don't have to ask that with this because they're all the same configuration. So they know exactly what they're running. And it also runs transaction processing, OLTP, or data warehouse applications. Okay? Again, because of the certain things we can do to the engineered system because we're building it, we're assembling it. And this is from a customer perspective where you're already running Oracle, this is probably one of the most important pieces, right? It's not any different except that it's better, but it's not any different than what you're running today. Because what's running on this Exadata machine? The Oracle database. You're already familiar with that. Okay? Okay, so from a hardware architecture perspective, as I said, it's got database servers, okay? Up to 8 database servers with dual processors. It's got its own storage, intelligent storage grid. It is intelligent storage. That's part of the magic or the secret sauce, so to speak, of Exadata. We're able to offload a lot of the database processing down to the storage, which is what speeds up performance significantly. It's got PCI flash storage, right? So you've got data at the speed of memory, I/O at the speed of memory. And connecting it all, connecting the servers to the storage and connecting the servers to each other because it's a clustered environment is an InfiniBand network with significant throughput. You know, I'm not a network guy, I'm not a hardware guy, but 40 gigabytes per second is huge from a network perspective as far as throughput goes. Okay? And it's like I said, unified server and storage network. It's all built into this box. The box gets delivered, you plug it in. It's not that easy, but you plug it in, and instead of within weeks or months to have an operating system, within days you have an operating system. An operating environment for your database. Okay? The other piece to the puzzle is Exalogic. Same concepts. All the things I said about Exadata being an engineered system, our ability to put certain capabilities in there because we build the whole thing, applies here. The difference here is this box is built specifically, it's engineered specifically for middleware loads, not back-end or database loads. All right, so what's the significant difference there? Database processing is very heavy on disk I/O. If you can optimize disk I/O